Chris Reynolds, Canadian Press. In hotspots around the country, some folks are questioning just how fair it is that small businesses have to close their doors while big box stores generally get to stay open, and not only stay open, but often take some of the business that might have gone to those entrepreneurs on Main Street. I'm wondering, should governments be setting rules around what those big box stores, or just stores that are allowed to remain open, can sell, so that not as much business is siphoned off from those smaller businesses?
That is a really good question, Chris, and it's something that I've heard a lot about from entrepreneurs around the country. As you know, decisions on lockdowns and public health orders are made by premiers, they're made by mayors, and they're made by public health officials at the local level. And that's how it should be, because our country is vast and there's not going to be a one-size-fits-all policy for Canada. But speaking to the concern at the heart of your question, what I will say is our government really appreciates the importance of small business, of local, often family-owned businesses, how important they are to our economy, huge source of employment, and how important they are to our communities, to our society. And that's why the measures that businesses can start applying for today, together with the CEBA top-up, an extra $20,000, $10,000 of which will be forgivable. Those are really about providing the support to small businesses that they need. And I'll say one more thing, which is all of us can support small businesses in our community too. We can support local small businesses by choosing to patronize the ones next door, maybe by ordering takeout from those restaurants that have had to close their indoor dining.
I'm also wondering what data you've seen that really points toward the idea that small businesses are hotbeds of transmission. If we're forcing all these folks to close their enterprises, I would think that there'd be some hard data at the bottom of that. For example, Ontario has only spotted or cited 119 businesses that are or 119 cases of COVID that can be traced back to retail settings. I'm wondering what data you have that makes you question the idea that retail stores should be open.
So, as you know very well, Chris, the decisions about restrictions are made locally and very much on the advice of our public health officials across the country. I have a lot of confidence in our public health officials. I know how hard it is to be a business, particularly a business that got through a difficult summer, a difficult spring, was able to reopen in the summer, and in many parts of the country is today facing additional restrictions. I really get how heartbreaking that is. What we know about COVID is that this is a social virus. It's a virus that thrives when people are together. It's a virus that thrives when each one of us has more social interactions. And so the way to stop the virus while we wait for the vaccines is to limit our social interactions. We know that that works. And unfortunately, there are some commercial activities that require more social interaction than others. It's not because some businesses are more worthy or less worthy. I think it's not really about whether people are doing the right thing or not. I think businesses across the country have been working so hard to make their businesses safe for themselves, their employees, and their customers. It's just the nature of the virus. And we know the surefire way to stop it is to limit our social interactions. And I think that's what we all really need to do. We saw the frankly horrifying projections from Dr. Tam and Dr. New on Friday. We all need to pull back. We need to do that for ourselves, for our families, for our neighbors. And I have a huge amount of respect for the premiers, the mayors, the public health officers across the country who have taken the agonizing decision to restrict business activity to help us all limit our social interactions. It is absolutely the right thing to do. They have the full support of the federal government. And that's why I'm so pleased that we are able today to open up applications for this economic support for businesses to get them through.